You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
It's time for Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. It's Grand Bahama's best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport.
Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community.
You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to Focus Forward. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward, sponsored by the Invest Grand Bahama unit of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. My name is Glendia Sweeting, Manager of Quality Assurance and Special Projects at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and I am joined by my beautiful, bright co-host over here that looks just like the sun, Alex Thompson, the Director of Public Relations at the Downtown Freeport Business Association. Alex, hello there.
Well, hello.
Welcome back.
I was waiting on the welcome back. Did you miss me?
I sure did. Someone told me, a little birdie told me that you were just all across the globe.
All across the globe, but you know what? There's no place like home.
Okay, I believe that.
Everywhere that I went, I realized I can't wait to get back home.
Good.
To you, of course.
I know you
my
miss
family.
Me. I know you miss
and
me.
all of our audience members. It's great to be back home and great to be back on the side of Focus Forward, because you know what? While I was gone, there were some things that was happening.
Okay.
And I am ready to talk about it.
Well, you need to fill us in.
Well, first of all,
I don't know if we're going to be able to fill in this whole time, but tell us a little something.
Tell a little something.
You got 1 minute.
I got 1 minute. What you want to hear? What you want to hear?
Where did you go?
Oh, you want to wear what?
Yes.
Well, actually, I went down to South America, and I was actually doing some business down in South America, taking the Bahamas down there. And so I'm excited about that. There are going to be some connections coming into Grand Bahama really soon, and so we'll be able to share that here on Focus Forward.
Okay, well, let's make it purposeful then.
Of course.
Sounds good, sounds good. Now, listen, today we have our Hurricane Readiness and Business Continuity Show. And, of course, you know, several weeks ago, we had the Hurricane Preparedness Show.
Right.
And that was a little bit different. We had the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Grand Bahama Power Company, Grand Bahama Utility Company, the Red Cross, etc. But this one is just a little bit different, and we have some other persons that are here that will be sharing some information with everybody, because hurricane readiness is really important. And there are some interesting things that's going to be happening coming towards the end of this week that I'm sure persons will be hearing about, but I will leave it to the guests to be able to talk about that. I won't spill all the beans.
No,
but
well,
Alex, you know, we still have our sponsors. They're still with us.
That's it. So we want to thank Visible Changers. We also want to thank, well, you mentioned the Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau, Grand Bahama Port Authority, and of course, if you want to have an opportunity to be on this show, you only need to do one of two things. Either send us an email at info@gbpa.com. It says, I want to be on Focus Forward, or of course, you can go down to the head office and you just drop your business card right at the front desk. You'll have an opportunity to be here. And when they have an opportunity to be on the show, what else do they have an opportunity to do?
The business segment of the week.
To be the business segment of the week, and you get a free commercial that you can use at any time once you're a licensee of the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Definitely. And we want to invite you guys to watch us, listen to us, follow our Facebook pages on Invest Grand Bahama or the Grand Bahama Port Authority, so that you will know how to find us, when to listen in, and how you can share. Thank you so much, ZNS, Our TV, ILTV, Dove, and the Rhythm for making sure that you share the message of Focus Forward. So let's get right into our conversations.
Okay.
All right. So first, we want to welcome to our roundtable both of these guests for the very first time. So delighted and so happy to have them join us. The first guest being Ms. Tammy Mitchell, Disaster Risk Management from the Ministry for Grand Bahama. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Tammy, talk up a little bit more for me, because I got questions for you, Tammy. You got to be ready. One of the reasons why I missed my Focus Forward last time was because the weather was bad, which means we have to get prepared for what's happening, right?
All right.
All right,
well, let's get ready. So we also want to welcome to the Focus Forward Roundtable Mr. Marvin Baisden, who is the chairman of the Economic Development Committee and Vice President of Environment, Quality, Facilities, Maintenance, and Infrastructure Development. Mr. Baisden, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
That's a long time.
Yes, and I was trying very hard to get it right.
I said, I hope they gave it to her to introduce you. I just know him as you know, my buddy Marvin over there. We're good, we're good, we're good.
Oh, right. So, Ms. Mitchell, if we could start with you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about hurricane readiness. What are some of the most, I guess you can say, appropriate or the most necessary tools and supplies that residents are encouraged to have?
Well, one of the main things that we want to start off with, and everybody don't realize, is you have to have a plan of action. What do you plan to do for your business? What do you plan to do for your homes? And you develop that plan into action. What are some of the things you need to be concerned about? Where are the nearest shelters? What is your evacuation plans? What is your emergency supplies kit? Where is it at? How do you plan to deal with your pets? How do you plan to deal with your home? What are the things that you think are priority for you as a business or even your family to have in place? That is what you want to have. And that is what should actually be in place now, given that we're already in the hurricane season.
Okay, so when you talk about, being prepared for the home, so as it relates to home infrastructure, what are some materials residents should reinforce to prevent damage?
Well, everybody on Grand Bahama, basically right now, because everybody is still talking about the devastation of Hurricane Dorian. So one of the things that we would recommend you do is that you check for the structural integrity of your home right now, the windows, the doors, and even the ground, and see if those things are able to withstand, God forbid, another Dorian or any type of flooding. You want to look for things like that and have somebody who's qualified to do it, because you may not be able to see what they can see. So, for example, with my home, I just did a walk around on Saturday. We've been having a lot of rains, and I live in an area that actually flood. So I looked for cracks through my foundation. I looked for cracks through the home. I looked for any leaks, leak spots that you may see inside the home as well as outside. I checked my shingles on the roof. Just basic things to look at.
Check the shingles on the roof, Tammy. You went up on the roof?
Yes. Alex,
Hold on, wait. Did you say yes?
Yes.
Did you go up on your roof?
I have a ladder, Alex.
Okay.
We have gone, we as Grand Bahamians, particularly because of what we've been faced, we have to take it up a notch.
Okay.
We as women in our homes have to take it up a notch and know what to look for, because it's protecting your family.
Are you going up on the ladder?
No, but I will ensure that someone gets it done.
I respect that, so we need to get the homes inspected. Okay.
Yes,
So can we just kind of talk a little bit about disaster risk management, the team that you're working on, and what's happening coming through that team with the Ministry of Grand Bahama? What are some of the plans that you guys have in place?
Okay, well, we, of course, with Minister Mox, she is a Grand Bahamian at heart. So one of the primary things we're doing within the Ministry for Grand Bahama is we're trying to make sure we have information readily available for persons who ask us. We're still getting calls, of course, from persons who are concerned about repairs that are still undone, so we're trying to direct them into the right places. But we're just trying to encourage them, and whatever questions that they're asking, whether it's how to start a plan, what do they need to have in the plan, where can they go for information, because they're always asking for information, even if it's simple power tips or business tips. We try to have all of that in place for them. And it's really giving them the calmness to say that they have someplace they can come for answers. So that's one of the primary things that I'm focusing on. And being somebody who's been in this as a volunteer for more than 20 years, a lot of people don't realize that I started in this business as a volunteer. And it just became a passion. So I used that passion and then turned that into what's now a career. So, but I try to make sure that whatever questions I can answer for persons, even if I don't have the answer at that point, I go and research and I give them the answers. So if it's, say, for example, a business owner comes to me and say, I have no idea what I need to secure in my business. I go and I do research, and the research would mean sometimes going to their business and seeing for myself what are some of the target areas that they would need to secure. And then I help them develop their plans like that. And I do the same for homeowners.
So it's 20 years, in this industry. So I have a question for you then. Having spoken to a lot of different people throughout the years. What do you think are some of the main challenges? What's the main challenge that the community faced with regards to hurricane preparation?
The main challenge is we still don't have a lot of people that actually listen to what's being said around you, watching what's been going around you. We still have a lot of Bahamians that really focus more or less on the international market when it comes to preparation, rather than coming and looking at what's being done home. So when we're looking at trying to have people prepare, for example, we have a valuable Met office here, right? And if the Met office is giving you the day-to-day information about the weather and what's going on, why would you want to turn into a Florida station? And no offense against any of the foreign stations, but home is where you should be tuning in, because they're going to give you the actual information, island by island, what you should be facing or what's coming your way.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Mitchell, and we're going to get back to you. We just want to get Mr. Baisden in on this conversation. Now, Mr. Baisden, as the chairman of the Economic Development Committee, you guys have so many things on your plate. And so tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing to be able to help prepare the island, essentially, for hurricane readiness.
Well, the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce recognizes its importance within the community and our obligation to help continually improve the business community and the community at large. And thus, one of the areas of focus for us this year is on business resilience, helping businesses understand how to plan and prepare adequately for disasters, natural disasters, or any events that could have an impact, an adverse impact or disruption to business. A big event for us is coming up on Friday. We are very excited about it. It's actually called the Business Readiness and Disaster Preparedness Workshop. And it's happening on Friday, beginning at 9 a.m. at the Al Lukaya Conference Room.
Okay. And what can we expect as business owners attending this event? What can we expect?
Well, you can expect a day packed full of dynamic speakers, industry professionals, technical experts who will come to share knowledge and information, lessons learned. They will assist with providing information with respect to business readiness, making preparedness plans, how to plan for recovery in the aftermath of a storm. And we also look at a lot of different elements of storm preparation that may not be a part of the conversation normally. One of the big areas that is a focus for us this year is the human element. We want businesses to realize that each business is more than brick and mortar. It's more than the building, it's more than physical assets. It is also the human resource. It's all those people who go through that catastrophic event. And the same way that the business has to rebound and be resilient, we need to help make sure that we provide the tools and resources to help people be able to do the same. So the people are able to be confident and comfortable that their families and home are secured, so that they are able to come out and be that critical resource to help businesses get started again and to start commerce and get the economy moving again.
Now, you're talking about people being, obviously the most important resource when we talk about these hurricanes and these storms, and, and we all are. Right. But what about infrastructure and the development of infrastructure? Are there or has there been any improvements in the area of infrastructure development that can help persons to be able to prepare for these storms or storm seasons year after year?
Yes, there have been lots of improvements. The local utility companies, the Grand Bahama Power Company has done a lot of work rebuilding, upgrading their infrastructure, their transmission and distribution grid. The Grand Bahama Utility Company has also done a lot of work post-Dorian, working on improving the resilience of their infrastructure. So yes, there has been a lot of work put into infrastructure improvements throughout the entire island.
Okay, that's important. And if we can come back over to Ms. Mitchell. Ms. Mitchell, I know we talked with you a little earlier on, but can we talk a little bit, and these questions can go to either of you, right? But when we talk about environmental factors, a lot of times we tell people, make sure that you have your homes ready and you've done your roof checks and all of these things. But there are also some environmental factors that sometimes come into play as it relates to storm readiness. Is there anything environmentally that people need to be aware of?
Well, definitely, if people would have followed even the trend of the storms that have passed, if you go to the beaches that we grew up on right now, you'll see the changes in the beaches, from the beach erosion, from the limited sand use. So those are things that we actually look at as well and try to keep a record of, because, for example, if, say, for an emergency shelter may be close to that area, we also have to determine now, based on that factor and the erosion or even the flooding that may occur, that we can now say that's not a good shelter to open at this time. So we look at things like that. But we ask people to take note of it, because, you know, those things, that means the water is going to come more inland. So you have to be prepared and to say, now, this is why a part of your plan, if you live near the waterway, that now has to become something that you would think of in terms of moving your family to safety, or even securing your businesses that are on the water. What are your plans to protect if that water is coming inland, and the further it comes inland and it destroys your business, or how are you going to rebound from that? So those are things that we're always trying to encourage people. It's more than just looking at the winds. You're looking at the waters. You're looking at how it's coming inland now. And we see what Dorian did, and everybody just step it up a notch and take into consideration that it's more than just the winds blowing. It's the water. It's the traffic road, the roads that could be impassable. What are your plans? It's going to keep going back to plans.
Right. And we've seen most of what could potentially happen. Right. And we'd like to believe that that's it, right? We've seen the windstorm when it came to Matthew back in 2016, and obviously we've seen the water storm. Right. And so definitely encouraging persons to think about those things and look back, like you said, so that you can begin to plan and prepare based on whatever may be coming, if in fact we have to go through something like that.
Definitely, because I would have worked every one of those hurricanes, from Floyd in '99 to Dorian. I've never been home in my house physically for any of those hurricanes from that time to now. So it's been a very hard sacrifice.
We appreciate you.
But definitely it's something that, like I said, because it's a passion, and because I have family and friends that are here, I want to make sure that what I do is as best as possible to secure them and their livelihood. Because you mentioned the human element in a business. That is something that I actually have in my little opening address for Friday. That's a part of your comeback plan. What are you doing for the human element in your business? Yes. Because your business can open itself.
You're reading my mind.
It can open itself.
I was about to ask you, we talk about the physical preparedness, but as Marvin touched on, the human element part of it.
That's a critical part.
What is some information that you would give to our viewers and our listeners with respect to that? Because we have to consider that we're individuals.
Yes.
I know right after Dorian, for me, I'm a talker. Can you imagine I was quiet for almost 2 days?
What?
Wow.
Yes, I was literally.
That's deep.
That's a lot. So,
yes.
I mean, but we have to be realistic, about it. So what information advice would you offer? What do you share?
Yeah, well, definitely, and this is from my personal opinion, but I look at businesses and I say to them, your primary component in your business is your employees. That's your human element.
Yes.
What are you doing to help them secure their homes so that they can secure your business? How are you helping them to prepare? What is the step for them once that storm has passed and your business can no longer open? What is your contingency plan to help them get back to a level where if they have to come to work, that they're not concerned that they don't have a dollar in their pocket, or they don't have some place to leave their child or their children, have a plan in place to help them be better when they return to work.
And that's a part of the business continuity that we had mentioned in the very beginning. And speaking of business continuity and this human element again, I just want to go over to some of the physical stuff on the business side since we're touching it. I know this conversation is going to wrap up very shortly, but I want to get back to you, Mr. Baisden, in terms of assessments. Can we speak about assessments and preparation for these businesses? Because we know that, and we heard it on the preparedness show from the Grand Bahama Power Company, one of the first things that they do when it's time to get the island back up and running, they deal with the assessments, and they go to the business areas first, and then they come around to the residential areas. And so tell us, what are some of the preparation or readiness things that businesses can start to do even now? No storm is approaching, but we are willing to be prepared. What can we do as a business to prepare?
Well, I think we keep using the word planning, and it may get lost on some people, the importance of exactly what that means, and that is one of the key elements that every stakeholder, every business, every homeowner should do at this time, is take stock of your surroundings, your property, contents, and make a plan. Assess where you may have vulnerabilities and come up with a plan for how you will actually protect those assets as best you can, or if worst case scenario, if those assets become damaged or destroyed, what are your alternatives? If they are critical equipment, critical assets, what are your alternatives for utilization of the services that those assets may have provided?
If I may interrupt you, Marvin, so just to be clear and concise and very frank for those that are listening and watching, when both of you say a plan, you're talking about a physical, we can't just think about it in here, but we literally need to have something that says hurricane preparedness plan. It's a document, a booklet, a pamphlet, whatever it is, and we should have it on paper.
An incident action plan. And put it on paper and document it.
But that's it. And then all of the contents that we have and everything should be on paper, because if it's not written down, you just don't have it. You don't
and you may forget.
And, well, I know I'll forget for sure.
You may forget, because when you get in the heat of the moment, right, so many things are happening.
Right.
And you're not just thinking about business, you're thinking about home as well. And so what ends up happening is you deal with the things that you think are most important, and then one or two things may slip. So it's the planning. But again, when you talk about hurricane season, some of these things you can do in advance.
Yes. Right.
So even if you don't have a plan written down for later on, the things that you can do now, I think this is what our guests are encouraging persons to do.
Do it now.
When we talk about planning and preparation. Now, we really got to wrap up this particular segment.
Just before you wrap up, when we're talking about the plan, you also have to share that plan. Share that plan with your family and your employees. It makes no sense to have it and nobody else knows about it other than you.
Right.
So
that is very important, the communication aspect, right? Because if you don't tell anybody and only you know, then
and what good is it?
Yes, because it affects everybody. We want to thank you guys so much for being with us. Obviously, there's never enough time to have these conversations. Never enough time, but we appreciate you being here, and we also want to let everyone know about what you had mentioned at Pelican Bay. If in fact the chamber has some space, I know it's probably going to be oversubscribed, but if the chamber has some space and there's an opportunity, please reach out to them, Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely.
Right, and you would be able to have an opportunity to hear from Ms. Mitchell and Mr. Baisden at that particular event this Friday. Alex, thank you so much for taking us through this portion of the show.
I'm ready to talk more about it, but we got to go on.
Yes, we have to go on, and we have so many things that's happening here on the show. We're going to continue, but before I move on, I must say that we are on location, our third dimension.
Okay.
Right here within the city of Freeport.
You know, can you see it? Can you see it going on all around us?
Yes, we didn't say that in the top, but we definitely want to let you guys know that is where we are. We are literally in the home,
and do you know
where you can come to plan and prepare.
Season already?
Who's that?
Third dimension.
Yeah, they are.
They have all
They
the
are.
supplies.
And we need to talk to them so that we can find out about what it is that they have to offer. It's going to get really, really exciting, but they are fully stocked. Right. I can tell you that. And they've been in the media very recently as well.
Yes, they have.
So, and they are going to be unveiling some new information and some new things, and the business is doing exceptionally well.
First on Focus Forward.
Right. Exclusive.
Exclusive. That's what we do here. Did y'all know that? We bring all the tea.
Definitely. So we're really, really happy to be here in Third Dimension, and we're very grateful to them for giving us the opportunity to be here. But you're going to hear from them yourself so that you can get the information that you need. And of course, right now, while you're watching, take the opportunity to share this show. Everybody needs to know how they can prepare, get ready. This is hurricane season. You know, we have to take this very seriously.
Right.
And so we have to plan and prepare and make sure that we're ready. So we have a quick commercial break, Alex, but we'll be back to carry the conversation on. And we have to talk about some more things like insurance and some of the other things that you need to know and be mindful of. So we'll be right back right after this.
My name is Jeffrey Thompson. I'm the Managing Director of Elegant Occasions. We provide service for proms, everyday arrangements, funerals, weddings, corporate events, and we are an exclusive store that we do everything. You name it, we can do it. We do European, Dutch floral arrangements. We do wedding packages, custom made and designed. We have our new stock in where we do arrangements in purses, bags, hats, mugs, and cups. We're located at number 1 Raven Mall. Our telephone numbers are 807-6414, 439-8148. So come on down, we're here for you.
Welcome to Freeport, the reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investments. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, residential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
Here at Dish Delish, we offer a variety of cuisines, like stuff from St. Martin, Guyana, Trinidad, and Suriname. So if you're looking to eat something from Trinidad, you've never been to Trinidad, but you want to taste that flavor, you got to check us out for doubles. So doubles is basically 2 flat bread with chana, cucumber, tamarind, all the sauces and flavors together. We can take you to Guyana and you can taste the flavors of Guyana, which is pepper pot. Pepper pot now is a meat stew. You eat this with bread and you are good to go. We could take you to Suriname. You know where Suriname is? Down in South America. And in Suriname, they have a stir-fried noodles that's called bami, and we serve it with chicken breast, grilled chicken breast. It comes with pickled cucumbers and a peanut sauce. We are located at number 4B in the Raven Mall. Our telephone number is 827-3392, or you can catch us on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Dish Delish 242.
Welcome back. We're here having a wonderful day on Focus Forward. So happy to be with you. I'm Glendia and she's Alex. And we're having a really great day today. Oh, you needed a special introduction
Sunshine.
again?
special introduction. You know you missed me. I brought it to you today.
Sometimes I missed her. I also miss Claudine today as well.
You miss Claudine?
Yes.
Not taking my space, Claudine. Not taking it. Not taking it. But you know, we're happy we are in this space today.
Yes. Talking about hurricane readiness.
And in third dimension.
Yes.
I love it. On location.
But look at the backdrop. If you look behind us, you can see all of the wonderful products that they have to offer. This is right here within the city of Freeport. You know, a lot of times you go into businesses and you ask, do you have this? Do you have that? Well, I've been here to third dimension since yesterday, and everything that I asked for, they have it.
Okay.
So you definitely want to come down so that you can be able to support this Bahamian-owned business right here in the city of Freeport. Great things happening. And of course, we have them joining us here around our round table today, and we're going to have a wonderful conversation with them, but we definitely want to continue hurricane readiness. Alex, give me your best 30 seconds about what you learned. Segment 1.
Make a plan.
Make a plan.
Put it on paper. Share it with all the people involved. That means if you're in a business, you want to share it with your employees and all of your staff members. For your family, you want to share it with your family. Some of the key things outside of writing it down, you want to upload it to the cloud, upload information to the cloud. You want to have all of that information ready and available to you. And attend the session on Friday that is going to be at Grand Lucayan with the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce.
And the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
That's right. And this is about hurricane preparedness and readiness and business resilience, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So make sure that you go ahead and you register. Call the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce so that you can get on that listing to be a part of that wonderful event. You definitely want to be there to learn and get as much information as you need to prepare. So let's go on to our segment now. And we want to welcome to our round table. I mean, I want to say the Black family, but I can't say the Black family, right? So I am going to say Mrs. Felicia Black Barbs, if I may say that, right? And she is the operations manager at Third Dimension Construction Company Limited. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good. And we also want to welcome Mr. Frederick Black Jr., who is the operations manager for Modern Air Conditioning and Refrigeration Company Limited. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us and for allowing us this space and this time to be here in the Third Dimension show floor.
That's it. That's it.
And we also want to extend a very special welcome to the Vice President of Freeport Insurance Agents and Brokers Limited, Mr. Donald Ward. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's nice to be here.
It's good to have you.
Graced us with his presence. Do you know how busy this man is?
I am quite sure he is.
He's insuring
because
Grand Bahama
everybody
and Nassau.
Everybody is getting insurance. And Grand Bahama and Nassau.
Okay.
And we were talking about it in the break, right?
Yes, we were talking about it.
Freeport Insurance Agents and Brokers Limited exists in both Freeport and Nassau with the name Freeport on it.
Yes.
Same thing.
We love it.
That's right.
We love it.
You know, and I tell you, we're doing big things in Grand Bahama.
Right.
So we taking Freeport into Nassau.
Right.
They know it. We know it. You know, before you know
Good
Third
stuff.
Dimension may be in Nassau.
That's speaking it. Okay. And I think you're going to give us something. See?
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Freeport's on the move.
Definitely, definitely.
Yes.
So let's make it happen. So let's get back into our conversation, Mr. Ward. In our top segment, we would have spoken with Mr. Marvin Baisden and Ms. Tammy Mitchell, all of these persons, key players in the area of hurricane readiness, hurricane preparedness, disaster committees, and development. And so we want to talk to you today about something else that's really important, obviously, when it comes to these hurricanes. And it was a major topic of conversation,
Yes, it was.
particularly after Hurricane Dorian. Insurance. So can you please tell us, what is it that Freeport Insurance has to offer persons? We are in the season, no threatening storms, but we want to be prepared. What do you have to offer residents of Grand Bahama?
Well, I like to do this disclaimer. Whether you deal with us or someone else, it's very important to have insurance. We call it the ultimate plan these days. I think Matthew and Dorian set the standard for us to say having insurance is the ultimate plan. And we offer everything from homeowners to comprehensive insurance to massive buildings like Dimension. As a matter of fact, this whole strip, we offer insurance of any kind. We offer liability, but most importantly, in the case of hurricane, we offer redemption insurance, as I like to call it. That's not a thing. I call it redemption insurance because once you're destroyed, our money can redeem your property.
You know, you pointed at me when you said that because you knew I was going to come at you.
Yeah.
You need to break that down. You need to explain it so we can fully understand what that means.
You know, similarly, when you get a mortgage redemption policy, it is in the event that something happened to you. If you die, I don't like to use that term, but that's what it is. If you die, the insurance pays for the balance on your mortgage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, for insurance, if something happens, and we look for ways to pay claims, maybe let me make sure that's clear. If something happens, we provide money to you to redeem your property, to rebuild, as it were. And you know, the insurance, let me move away to commercial entities like this. You can redeem your property, and at the same time, we offer insurance where you can keep making profits until we put you back where you were before the hurricane. It's called loss of profit, consequential loss. It's a thing. It's not sold often because it's really unknown to a lot of operators. But you can be out of business and in business, keep your staff, pay them without being open. So you have that insurance, you have the catastrophe insurance, you have the fire, you have the lightning and flood insurance if you're in a flood zone. You know, so all of these things you can purchase for a price. The difficulty these days is that we are short on capacity, which means, I think the Prime Minister said it a few months ago, there may come a time when we don't have the ability to sell this product, to sell insurance for your redemption. So what I employ people to do now, if you can afford it, and even in some cases where you can't afford it, get something, because you can be wiped out, as we saw with Dorian, in 2 days. So we offer Freeport Insurance. We offer a variety of insurance, from airlines to marine to boats to liability for Carnival and Royal Caribbean operators. You know, all of these things, be general liability, et cetera, loss of profit, consequential loss. We offer all these things from the office of Freeport Insurance.
Okay, Dawn, I might interrupt you right there because I need to make sure the persons that are listening are absolutely clear. So what you're saying is that Freeport Insurance is able to provide all of these insurance products that you're talking about, number one. Number two, that persons can actually still get hurricane insurance provided by your company?
Yes.
Need to hear a yes, okay. And number three, I need to know, how do I know that I'm going to have sufficient coverage though? How do I know that?
Well, we share that exercise with appraisers.
Okay.
So if you're looking to, because you need to be insured for a replacement value on your home. So if an appraiser do an appraisal on your property before you insure it, we honor that. When there's a hurricane or fire, whatever happens to your property. So that is one sure way to get a correct amount. The secondary thing is, those of us who don't relish spending $250, $500 with an appraisal, if you calculate the square footage, and we can give you margins where you can multiply the square foot by X dollars, let's say $100, that gives you a good idea within 10%, 10% of the actual value. And so, but the most efficient way is to use an appraisal to get a value, because they are qualified. We are not qualified appraisers.
Understand.
We can give you estimates from the insurance perspective, but we are not qualified to write an opinion.
So the appraisers will write the opinion.
Yes.
And they will provide, well, the customer then, or that particular client, can then present you with the appraisal that they would have received to be able to move forward with whatever it is in terms of what you guys have to offer. Right. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And,
so
in addition to that is, the appraiser will give you 3 such figures: one for replacement, one for sale, and one for forced sale. So you can get 3 different figures on one property.
Right.
But the replacement one is the one that the insurer is interested in.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Ward, thank you so much. We're going to come back to you. We would just want to go over to Third Dimension because we want to talk about everything that they have to offer here within the city of Freeport and to persons that are preparing and getting ready for hurricane season. Mrs. Bobs, tell us about Third Dimension and what, I mean, I believe you guys have everything, right? Because it seriously looks that way. But tell us what it is the business has to offer.
Currently, well, we've been established from 2004. We used to be located opposite Solomon's on Queens Highway, but we recently moved to this location in 2018. We used to be across the street sharing the building of Morton Air Conditioning till we came over here in 2019 right before the storm. During that time, we only really sold building materials. But as once Dorian came around, we expanded into our home improvement store. Dorian really put us on the map. A lot of people didn't know about a lot of things that we didn't carry. So once Hurricane Dorian came in, we were one of the only stores that did not receive any flooding. So we were able to jump into action right away. We were able to cater to people the day after the storm. I literally had flooding in my home, but I kind of wanted to push myself out there to really help behemoths because I know a lot of people had lost everything. So we were able to jump right into action and cater to people with building materials, some hardware items and stuff like that. So our store has departments in plumbing, electrical, hurricane. We also have a year-round hurricane aisle. So for people that want to be proactive and don't want to wait that last minute, we also have hardware, fasteners, an electrical aisle, as well as we sell doors and building materials to outfit your entire home.
Now, as we're sitting here, we're flanked by beautiful mirrors and accessories, and
yes.
I was just feeling the presence of the Lord as I was reading these boxes and say, God is love, the Lord is my light, the joy of the Lord is my strength. So I see that you've not only, like you said, not only done the building supply, so after we've repaired our home,
yes.
we now can outfit our home with beautiful things.
Yes,
and
most
also
definitely.
here, do you also offer registries?
Yes.
You do as well?
Yes, we do. Because of our houseware aisle, we're able to do bridal registries, and some people I know it's not common in Freeport, like they do the housewarming gifts.
Right.
So like if they have their housewarming parties, we're able to cater to all of that because a little bit goes a long way. So because we're able to create those registries and help people in their times of need, we try to cater to every need that they have.
Every need that they have. I have a lot of stuff going on in here. Is there more work going on in the store? Are you expanding the store? What's going on?
Actually, we are currently under expansion. We're under expansion with our warehouse building, but our plan is to expand our entire retail floor to cater to Grand Bahamians. We're expanding every aisle. Some of the new departments that we're going to go into are our paint department aisle. We're actually going to be able to mix paint on site, as well as our seasonal aisle and our impulse aisle. Currently, what we do is we have an online flip book that's posted to our Facebook page every month. So people are able to capture our monthly specials that we hold all month long. And then we also have coupons in the book that customers can go on the online PDF, bring it to the cashier, say, hey, I have this coupon for this item, and able to get even more money off.
Like 20% off, 10% off?
25% off. Okay.
Like free things, but even a little discount works.
So I just want to go back to the expansion because I don't want us to glaze or gloss over that.
In Grand Bahama.
Yes, in Grand Bahama.
I'm telling you.
A Bahamian-owned business. And what I like is, I know that you guys work, your father, your mom, everybody has a hand in what's happening. Now, to see the daughter and the son and the other daughter who is hiding from us, I won't call her name, Miss Pedra, but I really would love to just kind of emphasize the fact that that is amazing.
Yeah.
For a family to be doing these kinds of things. And now I want to underscore the fact that you guys are going into expansion and there are opportunities for other persons, perhaps?
Yes. We actually have a few job openings available. We have store associates available, warehouse associates available right now, as well as some managerial positions that are open closer to the expansion to cater to the demand we're creating in the store. So as we're expanding our aisle, we're looking for people in the paint department, plumbing, as well as electrical as well. because we want to cater it properly, because a lot of people take on an expansion and they don't have the ability to cater to it. So we want to do it properly, provide that great customer service once you come into third dimension, as well as make you feel right at home, because we give that bohemian feel, because we kind of down to earth, and we know almost everybody that kind of comes in our store. We keep very close relationships with our customers. They're able to WhatsApp me. They're able to call me. I help a lot of people in third dimension.
You sure do. You sure do. Long history, and I can think about some things.
Where everybody knows your name.
Sure do. Well, not particularly for me, but I know if I call for another organization or someone who may need help, I'd say, "Hey, Felicia, can you?"
She's like, yes, I can.
And
Or, yes, we have that.
And yes, and they do come. They come through, and we appreciate that. That level of philanthropy is really important in the community, and we appreciate that. Mr. Frederick Black Jr., of course, you know, we cannot come to Third Dimension and not have a conversation with modern air conditioning and refrigeration. And I know you guys have a whole lot going on as well, but can you tell us just a little bit about some of the things that persons may need to know as it relates to their systems and what they may need to do for hurricane season? And then let's talk about what you guys have in store.
Okay, well, my suggestions for hurricane season would first be, during that particular time, if it's possible, keep your areas cool, windows closed, seal up as much AC as you could possibly do before power outages. After power outages, you would want to make sure that your system is securely fastened to the ground, because there's a lot of wind, debris, maybe even flooding that can take place. We also would like, if possible, for you to cover your unit, because you have flying debris. You have like tarp that could cover the condenser, and maybe something that keeps it on for wind purposes. You know, you always have things flying, and like in regards to wind and flooding, we'd like for you to power off.
Power off.
Yes, we would suggest for you to power off your unit before any major hurricane, because lightning strikes do cause surges, and a lot of the units right now are more inverter type, more computer based, so the electrical components in it can be damaged fairly easily with the surge
Black,
power.
I heard you say turn off. I almost turned off my thoughts just now in this heat. That's not happening. So let's talk more about what Modern Air has to offer with all the ACs on and the nice cool refrigerators and all the stove and the great brands that you have in store.
Well, we've been in business, like Felicia said, about over 20 years now. Modern Air Conditioning is more or less one of the founding companies, besides Action Auto. We also had Action Auto. And since then, after the hurricane, we really expanded from just basically air conditioning units and refrigeration sales and services, as well as now appliances. We do appliances, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, all the name brand appliances. We offer you as a customer, if it's something that you would like in terms of a model number. If our suppliers could find it, you give us a model number pertaining to your likings. We do our research. If it's available, we give you a pricing and, you know, try to accommodate you from that perspective, because, you know, different people have different tastes. So we really try to appeal to more or less the general public, but we also have high-end products as well.
That high-end products is right here.
Right here in Grand Bahama.
Right here. So she'll come with that special model number.
Yes.
And she'll say, Mr. Black, I need that.
Yes. Right. And however I could assist in terms of, once you give me your information, getting it to my supplier, once he has that particular item in stock or something that's comparable, then we could see how we could do business.
And make it happen?
Yes, we can make it happen.
So between Third Dimension and Modern Air Conditioning, I'm hearing everything you need for the home, for the business, for building, keeping it cool, because, you know, Alex, you know you need your... Alex, you're very warm.
I need the cool. I need
you may
the
need
cool.
to go and get an AC.
Yes. Now, just before hurricanes, before we kind of, you know, wrap up a bit.
Well, we need to do a quick roundabout, and I need to get back to Mr. Ward, but go ahead.
Well, final question for you. hurricane season, I know a lot of us may not think about changing our filters and servicing our ACs. What would you recommend as we're moving into hurricane season?
Well, preparedness. Knowing that we're going into a season, you would want to have all your units serviced in terms of filter being clean, gas pressure lines being tested, and you know the general air quality, making sure that all vents are clean and ducting is clean enough for the circulation of air. So,
and that's good for like a once per year service, right? Because people typically don't think about servicing until the system breaks down.
Yeah.
So how often do we need to be servicing?
Depending on your comfortability, we recommend like every 3 months. Some people like every quarter. So some people don't use their ACs in the winter, but they use the heater. So that still requires the functionality of the unit, filters being checked and various things like that. So
good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to come back and we're going to do a quick round table. We want to get final thoughts from all of our guests. Mr. Ward, just coming back to you really quickly, when we talk about the services again, and if you can give me 3 key things that persons need to know and insurances that persons need to take out, whether it be with Freeport Insurance or anyone, can you tell us what would those 3 key things be? What would those 3 insurance packages be?
Well, beginning with when, it should happen before a hurricane is in the works.
Okay.
Your home versus your contents is paramount. You should insure it whether you have a mortgage or not. It's your building. It's your loss. People think that you only insure when you have a mortgage, and when they pay it off, they say, well, we don't need it anymore. That's one thing. You should make certain that you're insured for an adequate amount. That a lot of people, in addition to a deductible, have been found wanting because they underinsure, hoping they would save a few bucks. And what happened was they lose twice. Pay a deductible, and you're penalized for the insurance. The third thing is make sure if you add on to your home, tell the insurers.
Okay.
Because if you insure a 2,000 square foot place, and when there's a catastrophe, you have a 3,000 square foot place because you added on a whole room and a kitchen, you're going to be underinsured.
Okay.
And so trying to save money on the front end is not the best thing to do, except it's a discount. It should not be at the peril of being underinsured in any event. Should not be underinsured. So a lot of people have.
So insure the home, the building.
Yes.
Insure the contents.
If possible.
And then make sure that you have adequate coverage.
Yes.
Don't shortchange yourself.
No.
Right.
I heard the word discount in there. So it sounds like if I go to Mr. Ward at Freeport Insurance with all the right information, I'm very transparent and honest with my appraisal, it sounds like I'm going to get a discount on my insurance.
Yes, you can. I mean, the thing is, a lot of people believe that don't happen regularly. It's difficult to get discounts on home insurance, but it can happen.
Okay.
Your windows, your roof, the precautions you take in your building is paramount to getting something actually without penalizing your disposition.
So insurance is very important, guys. If you are watching, if you are listening to Mr. Ward in this moment, you have to know that you have to get your insurances in order. Do not shortchange yourself. Make sure you reach out to them. Freeport Insurance Agents and Brokers, you can follow them on social media. And they're located on the West Mall Drive, am I correct?
Yes.
West Mall Drive.
Yes.
So we want to let you guys know, make sure go and visit them and get the information that you need, Mr. Ward. Thank you so much. And if we could just wrap up one quick moment again, back here to Third Dimension. Thank you guys so much, Third Dimension Modern Air Conditioning, for being with us. Any final notes or anything that you'd like to share with our audiences?
I would like to share, especially with this hurricane season, make sure you get your tops, battery-operated fans, gas stoves, butenes or any propanes that you would need, so that get them early so that you can be prepared and not last minute.
Yes.
Make sure get the items that are pertinent early as possible.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
Mr. Black?
Well, first of all, I just would like to thank the general public for your patronage for all the number of years that you guys were here, that we were here. And in terms of preparedness, it's essential. I mean, we never know exactly when catastrophe could hit. We have some idea of the time about it happening, but the extent of the damages can be extensive. So, you know, we just want you to be prepared in all aspects and ways. But we most importantly want to thank you and appreciate you for your patronage and service over the years.
All right. And Mrs. Bobs, if I could just ask you one more thing. Obviously, Third Dimension is operational. You guys are open from very early in the morning. Can you remind us of your operating hours and how can persons contact you?
Our operating hours right now, our building materials section is open from 7:30 to 5. Our home improvement store hours are 8 to 5:30. We can be contacted via social media on our Facebook page. Our numbers are 242-352-6126 or 602-0935.
Okay. All right. And does anything change, say, after a storm? Can persons expect, barring that there are no damages, can persons expect that you guys will be open? Because
Yes.
that is when we need supplies and materials the most.
Most definitely. Also, leading up to a hurricane, where we try to open our hours even earlier to cater to people that want to get to it before they get to work, as well as later if they can't leave work and they want to do it after work. So our hours will be changed during any hurricane times.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much, all of you, for being here with us today. And we certainly want to thank all of our guests that would have joined us today on this hurricane readiness and business continuity show. We're so, so grateful to have everyone here. And we hope that the information that would have been shared today, although the timing was just not enough.
It just seemed like we never have enough time.
Never enough. And one of these days, Alex is going to pay for the extra hour, and we're going to have more time to be able to join you guys. Just as we begin to wrap up, we want to remind you again, follow us on Invest Grand Bahama and the Grand Bahama Port Authority social media pages. And of course, I want to send a special shout out to one of our very, very loyal viewers who stopped me at the grocery store yesterday. Her name is Sybil Dean. Miss Dean, thank you so much for being with us each and every week. We appreciate you. Thank you for sharing the message with others. And of course, it's always good to hear about persons that are following the show. And we really appreciate that.
In order to find out what's going on in the city of Freeport, you have to tune in to Focus Forward. That's it.
Yes.
That's the best talk show. It is.
So it's the #1 place to be. And of course, we just enjoy being here with you, and we enjoy sharing that information with you.
Right.
And if there is something that you want to know, you have a question or you need some information, you too can impact the content that we provide on this show. Send us a quick email, info@gbpa.com. Stop into the office, ask for Glendia, or speak to one of the ladies at the receptionist desk and just let us know what it is that you need to know. Perhaps that may be something that may be very helpful to others in the community, and we will take a look at it and see what we can do. But again, thank you so much for being with us here on Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show. We are always here for you, and next week we're getting ready to go into Independence Month, July.
Coconut tart.
So we're getting ready to celebrate all things Bahamian. Alex is probably going to be interested in our cuisine show.
Peas and rice.
And she is going to be telling us a little bit about that in the days to come. So we're going to be celebrating all things Bahamian. We will keep you in the loop of that, and that begins next week. Make sure you follow our social media pages so you will know where to go to be able to watch those shows. Until next time, I'm Glendia Sweeting.
And I'm Alex Thompson.
And we're informing you on the positive things that happen when you focus forward.
You've been listening to Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. Like us on Facebook at Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau to stay updated. And drop a business card at the Grand Bahama Port Authority receptionist desk to have your business featured on our show. Tune in next Thursday, same time, same place, for Focus Forward.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
And welcome to another episode of The Drop. We want to have a good time tonight, y'all. I'm Vontae.
And I'm Nika B. And tonight, we're cranking up the volume and returning the vibes all the way up for a happy hour special coming straight from Winky's on Carmichael Road.
Oh, yes. We want to have some good fun, some good vibes, some good food, some good drinks, some good music. You can't forget the music. We're going to have some good girls, whether it be light skin, dark skin, brown skin.
Ain't none of that. None of that. Now back to our regular scheduled program.
Anyhow, y'all, we about to have a good time. Nigga in all that life. But let me tell you something. We have a power-packed show lineup for you guys. We have several interviews as well as our first ever live performance for The Drop. And we're doing it outside The Drop studio. We at Winky's, baby. We about to cut a movie. Somebody say movie.
Movies for guys who like movies?
Oh, yes. I love the movies. I love commercials, short flicks.
You're doing it again. Stop. Thank you.
You got it. You good.
And to kick things off, we're going to slide right into our first music video that sets the tone for an ultimate after-work party. Here's Happy Hour by Visage.